Yes, guys, it's me again, starting off yet another week. Because once more, George is on a streak right now. 7-3 to me this week. We've got a game left, but don't worry about it because it doesn't matter. Even if Eunice gets the score spot on in Everton Leeds, I am still your victor this week. And by the way, we have got a sensational roundup of Premier League games to go through today. But Eunice, you're 4 behind me now, which is a whole month's worth of football. Do you have anything to say on the matter? Because I'm quite disappointed in you.
There's a conspiracy here against me. I want VAR and I don't get it. These referees don't know what they're doing. I do prefer to speak. And if it means I get fined, then I don't care. This is despicable. Absolutely despicable. The game's gone.
The game might have gone. I'm surprised too. I'm genuinely just as surprised because, I didn't think I knew ball, but apparently I do.
Listen, I will say this, right? I will get into these results. I was this close, to getting outrageous results. And then everyone wants to score in the 85th minute, right?
That's why football
or the
is 90 minutes.
92 millionth minute. Like the very last second of every game this weekend was just, I'm going to kill this for Eunice. Yeah. And then it meant that you got a load of scores correct. So I will give you plaudits on that, mate, because you actually nailed it on quite a few here. And for me, a whisker away on about 4 flipping games that all went against me in the last moment. Bunch of twats.
Unbelievable. We're actually going to do it a bit differently this week because we understand that there are certain games that might be bigger and better than others. So we're going to go in order of whoa. I'm going to say this week in terms of importance. So if you make it all the way to the end of this video, you're a real one. Subscribe to ShootOut. We've got loads of content coming your way. But we begin at the Emirates in what was a truly fantastic game of Premier League football.
Have you seen that meme? Just
that one?
Absolute cinema.
Yeah, let's make one out of that too. Somebody, get sending us this on Twitter, please. Eunice's thumbnail photos.
There you are.
3-2 to Man United, mate. I mean, I thought 3-2, but to Arsenal. I thought United would show up, but not like this.
You did.
This was emphatic.
I mean, United were out of this world.
Let's start with them instead of Arsenal, because we did a whole video on Arsenal on Saturday.
It's funny that.
So typical. Here we are talking about a quadruple, and they couldn't even get the next match over the line, let alone win trophies. But United I'm going to say that they're back, There's something very different about those last 2 wins. It's Man City and Arsenal they've beaten.
I want to say it's, it is, which is mad.
Mega.
Right? I do think that there's an element here to pay attention to, which I still think some people are aware. Chelsea fans are definitely aware, right? It's funny what you can get when you have a proper wise head in the room. And I think this is what's helping Michael Carrick at the moment. And he's an interim at the moment. He's not here for the permanent job. But the team around him, man.
Steve Holland specifically,
Look, with the way United play, I can see. You can see things that we've done in the past. Yeah. It's there. Do you know what I mean? And United just look so efficient in every single moment of play that they get, an opportunity they get. You can just see how, not just on the ball, even off the ball, how resolute they actually were and how much they were suffocating Arsenal and really making it hard for them. But they were just so organised and so together and so compact. It had elements of what we've done before while Steve Holland was with us. And I know before it wasn't just Steve Holland. It was Jose, Ancelotti, Conte. But Steve Holland was there for every single bit of it. Yeah. I'm not surprised United all of a sudden look serious or professional enough now against the big teams. They absolutely put on a clinic. And respect to Michael Carrick as well.
Michael Carrick has done, by all accounts, when he's been a Man United manager, he's done excellently. Mm-hmm. There's also a Ronaldo quote who, when Cristiano was still playing for Manchester United second time round and Carrick was the gaffer, he said he was delighted to play under him as well as he was to play with him as a player. He's a very smart man, Carrick. And I must say, he looks quite smart on the sidelines too. He fits the role. He's a good manager, let's say, or coach. Let's leave it with that. But I think the main thing for me as well about all of this is the players who are playing so well right now Martinez has come back into the defence.
Yep.
Scored an own goal, but other than that, I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, apart from that.
I will say Bruno Fernandes as well, as much as it pains me to say
100%.
it. He was very good. And Kobe Mainu, a bloke who Ruben Amorim, I don't know. Maybe he didn't like the way he made a cup of tea. I don't know. But he didn't like him, did he?
No.
And he comes in yesterday, gets an assist as well. Dorgu, by the way. Oh, my goodness. What a goal.
We'll do it again, guys.
That is scintillating.
Unbelievable.
The finish and the confidence he's playing with right now. I think I mentioned him last week, actually, about how well he's been playing as like a left winger. Mate, what a player.
That goal was stupid. But, with Man United as a whole, going forward yesterday, they had so much unpredictability.
Yeah.
Nowadays, what's the problem in modern football, I feel like, is you get a lot of the attacking lines that are so easy to read. And funnily enough, this is going to sound wild, but yesterday, Arsenal were easy to read.
Yes.
In an attacking sense.
Yes.
And I feel like there's a lot of teams now where no matter who gets the ball, it's still quite robotic, even in terms of positioning. United had fluency up top. They had, they were just... You didn't know where Cunha was going to be. You didn't know where Mbeumo was going to be. You didn't know, all these guys, and even Dorgu going as far as he does, to smack it in the way that he did into the top bins. That's... I want to take a step back and say that the goals United scored yesterday were prime Barclays.
Yeah, top.
Dorgu was prime Barclays. Cunha, albeit Arsenal put a red carpet out and the space for Cunha to go, but Cunha read that situation long before.
That finish.
And and he was smart. You know what he was smart with? To know that the goalkeeper wasn't able to see from the moment that he took the shot because the defender was in the way. So by the time the ball's already gone round, it's halfway through. Keeper's still not reacted.
Yeah.
It's not enough time. He's put enough bend and whip on it and power that all of a sudden it's hit the net. I thought very, very intelligent goal from Cunha.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. And to do it minutes after the Arsenal goal. Prime Barclays. United come up with some old school football yesterday. It was just phenomenal. It was wonderful to see.
It's interesting to look at as well because I think Cunha's one of the best players the Premier League has, personally. And I thought this last season at Wolves. I still think it now. Didn't start. Benjamin Sesko didn't start. And Mbeumo starts up front, scored the first goal to get United back into it. There's a lot of really talented players there. So for me, it was always a matter of time and clearly the right man in charge. Like Ruben Amorim was obviously holding this team back. We sat here, from probably the beginning of November in this studio saying it's going to go soon, it's got to go soon. And it turns out that was the right decision. But let's talk about the other side in this game. Because for Arsenal, these guys just... We said last week, does anyone want it? I'll say this. Best entertaining week of the Premier League in a long time for me. After we were talking about 0-0s, copious draws. We only had one draw this week and we all know what that was. We'll get into you lot later. We've got to leave the small clubs to the end. That's kind of the plan now. But for Arsenal, 3 goals conceded. The record is in the bin. Not that it was ever really tangible anyway.
We told you guys. It
was impossible.
Come on. No one. Can we start off with that?
Yes.
No one. Let me just make it clear. No matter who you support, no one is touching 15 goals conceded in a season ever again. Forget it. It's not happening. The fact that Arsenal had a sniff at the beginning and were thinking this is actually doable, and we've hit 23 games and it's in the bin. We did it in 38. No one's touching that record ever again.
I think there's more chance of 2 invincible seasons than before that happens, personally.
And I think modern football doesn't allow anyone to come close to that record anyway.
Facts.
If football changes back to a more defensive, resolute style where everyone's adopting the same sort of thing and there's less goals being scored, we can even maybe begin to have a conversation. And even then, no one's touching that. The fact that JT done that video yesterday on Insta, and I think on TikTok as well, saying that he's actually fuming because it could have been sub 10.
Yeah. No, for real.
And it's true.
Yeah.
Wild.
Mental.
No one's coming close.
Arsenal are struggling at the moment because the attacking players at the club in the Premier League, there's a lot of players there that just aren't scoring. I saw yesterday Esteval scored more goals in one afternoon than Madueke has in 365 days in the Premier League.
Funny that.
No goals or assists this season for Madueke. Trossard hasn't found the net in a long time. Saka, good corner. What's new?
Saka was actually one of their bright lights.
Saka was their best player, for sure.
Yeah. I want to start with this with Arsenal, right? I get the panic, but I don't think it's time to panic.
It's not. Definitely.
Realistically, Arsenal fans need to chill a bit. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean that in a way where you still have 4 points. It's still in your hands. The panic now is all psychological because they've bottled it season in, season out prior. Now they're thinking, oh my God, is it happening again? Well, it will happen again if you allow it to happen again. Realistically, Arsenal still have the best squad in this league. So what I want to say is, especially in today's age, any top team's going to go through a patch in the season where it starts to go a little left. It's just about you getting yourselves back on track. It's as simple as that. You still have 4 points. That still means having to bottle 2 games. And I know it's realistically where Arsenal might think that they should be maybe 9 points ahead right now. I get that.
Well,
However,
they're only 4.
and it feels like it's only 4. But you're also anticipating that City and Villa are just not going to drop any more points again this season. I don't think that's the case.
That's where they're very lucky.
Exactly.
Because they will.
They will.
No
100%.
No one else has shown any sign of being good enough to stay. It's like a horse race. Like a long horse race. Let's say a 10-mile horse race. The chances of a team this season being able to last the whole 10 miles without falling off for a while, I think is impossible.
Yeah, 100%. I think there needs to be some sort of mental fortitude now shown, both from the Arsenal from the Arsenal squad, from Arteta, and the Arsenal. Look, if Arsenal bottle one more game, right, in this sort of way, at that point you can start going, oh my God, what are we doing?
Do you know what Mikel Arteta should do? Do you remember, did you ever play Call of Duty Zombies? Back in the day?
Not Zombies.
He should start just putting the Zombies music in the changing rooms.
That's a very Arteta idea.
So that all the Arsenal players are constantly looking behind them, making sure that they've got all of their senses tingling. Put a light bulb in there as well. Mate, I'm sure this melt has got something to do that he's going to have as like a little, we've not won in 3 games, we're going to find a way.
Look, the only thing that maybe we can't relate to because we're not Arsenal fans, right? Maybe Arsenal fans will know a little bit more deeper than us here, but unless there's just something at that football club, right?
Allergic to winning.
Where it's almost just a given that as long as Arteta is running this team and Arsenal are Arsenal, that they just know we are going to throw this away and it's there and you just can't see it. And maybe we can't see it.
Well, you know what they say about viruses, don't you? The closer you are to it, the more likely you are to get it. They're right next door to Spurs.
Fair enough.
It's only the answer we need to even think about, really.
But look, I'll be honest. If Arsenal, with the squad that they have right now, throw it away, just write yourselves off. There's zero excuse. Zero excuse. Realistically, Arsenal should be getting at least 2 trophies this season.
I think the fair thing to say about this game, though, is that Man United were fantastic.
They were.
Their best performance I've seen from them in years, off the back of probably the best performance I've seen from them in years last week.
This is where, I think a lot of the reaction from the Arsenal side is, but we lost to this United team. No, incorrect. This United team that you saw over the last 2 matches is not the same United team as the one before.
Yes.
They're clearly set up and running in a much different way. That you did play Manchester United, where, yes, they've been stinky for a while, but during the last two games, there's an element of put some respect on their name.
Absolutely.
Because that's what Man United should be playing like week in, week out. What we just saw, that should be Man United in the norm.
They need to go on like a 5-game winning run, funnily enough, to really be considered back.
This is the thing. So you see how people are going to look at Man United, and I even want to throw us in there, to be honest, with Rosinha, but we'll get to us later. Anyone right now that's getting results at the beginning of a new era or a new manager or a new style, whatever. New coach.
Sorry.
As much as we can look at that and go, no, but you can't get too excited. I think you also have to flip it and go, you can't panic too much now, even if you have bottled 2 games. For Arsenal, still 4 points ahead, keep calm. Just don't do it again. If you do it again, you've got a couple of teams up your rearview mirror.
Absolutely. Chelsea have won a game of football away from home at Crystal Palace. 3-1.
Happy days.
We're only 13 points off Arsenal.
Only.
No, we were good, mate. We were very good. I thought.
We, you know what's... We were good.
Wow,
we were
profound
good.
information from the other side of the table.
Were good. We were good. Could we have been better? Yes. Could we have been a lot worse? Yes. Easily. I thought we were controlled, disciplined.
Professional.
It was professional.
Yeah.
And that was a relief because I think it's the first time under Rossignol that I can say we had a good, controlled, composed performance up until we were 3-0 up. And then we know what went down after we were 3-0 up. And
that is the history of the Chelsea at this point.
that is. And I have to say, I heard what Rossignol said after the game. And I agree with him. But I'm also thinking, okay, like...
What did he
it's
say?
up to you.
What did he say?
He's not happy about how he saw things after 3-0 and that we shouldn't have come off the gas. And yeah, correct. But we did, and it didn't stop.
Well, I'm sorry. Also, I've not heard this. You're telling me this for the first time. But why? What do you expect when you bring two attackers off? Three subs, right?
Yeah.
Two wingers come off, two defenders come on. I said this during the flipping game, and for him to come out then and say, "Oh, I wasn't happy with that."
No, but even like I didn't see him flipping his marbles on the touchline either. Like again, if you're not happy, maybe that's not his style. But personally, anyway, I did also make the argument in the case that after 3-0, he did have room for experimentation, for wanting to maybe change a few things. It didn't impact the overall result. It was never going to impact the result. Crystal Palace went down to 10. Cool. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I'll let you off. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah.
But jumping to that sort of level where we just clearly complacent and we just drop, that can't happen again.
No.
That can't happen again. And against a top team, Crystal Palace are in the mud right now, and we saw that yesterday. But against a top team with 11 who are more clinical, you don't have room to be complacent like that.
No.
Because if not, they'll come back to bite you. But, like I was saying, overall, controlled, disciplined, cool, composed. I thought it was coached well. I thought it was managed well.
Yeah. Some good goals in there.
And there were some good goals. And big up to Esteval.
Yeah, Esteval, mate. Have you seen, like, when you slow down the replay of his goal, he starts running on that last defender, anticipating the mistake before the mistake happens. This kid is 18, all right? We've been preaching about him a long time on this channel and on both of our personal channels, right? But the intelligence is so smart.
He's a special boy.
And the execution is top-notch as well. First time ball for Joao. He was magnificent, I thought, Esteval. And I'm gutted he came off because I think he could have, especially against 10 men, like I think this could have been a monstrous Chelsea result in the end if we would have left him on the pitch.
You know, if we were... So, okay, say if we were in Arsenal's position, I'll justify making changes and all of that, no problem, right? Because the squad has already been put to a certain level. We are in a moment... Not in a moment, to be fair. We're in a time because we've seen how we've been. We've not been good enough. We do need to seize every opportunity that we have that comes around where we can just play with freedom. We can, try and get everyone to bond a little bit more, try and get everyone to come out their shell a little bit more. After going 3-0 up, that was the perfect time.
Yeah.
You got 25 minutes.
We were already doing it.
Yeah, and for 5 minutes, you could see we were in our element. Keep it going. Let the team flow. Let everyone keep combining. Let everyone play some freedom. Let the confidence come. But when you start changing all of that and then you experiment, you don't allow the players on the pitch to build that in a time where they have that freedom. They're not going to have that in the next game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's my only issue. Like I've said, Arsenal, for example, don't need that. The squad's already at a level. We need that.
Yeah, we need some opportunities to be able to do that.
Exactly, and they don't come every week.
Yeah, it feels to me like we're in Germany where there's no speed limit, and then all of a sudden, like a load of red lights appeared out of nowhere, but like we put them there. Do you know what I mean? Like, please, next time we're 3-0 up and coasting, let us go 6-0 up. I'm not complaining. This isn't George being he's moaning about 3-1. No, But the football we played in that second half was fantastic, and then it just all stopped. Yeah. We scored the penalty and didn't have another shot against 10 men, against a team that were literally falling apart at our knees. That would have been the time to allow it to go, like you say, and kick on. But we're 5th in the league. Man United are 4th. So well done to them.
Yep.
But let's move into the next game, which was, again, another fantastic game of football. Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. Prime example of the late goal curse for Unistalks football.
Here we go. I was happy and fuming at the same time. So when Bournemouth scored, then you messaged me as well.
Yeah.
Right, going like they flipping done it. And I'm watching, I'm like, I said a draw. And I thought the logic was fantastic.
Yeah.
As well. And I said a draw, and then boom. And I'm happy because it's Liverpool losing. Ha ha ha, funny. And Bournemouth getting a win after I don't know how long. And then all of a sudden, yeah, my point is in the bin.
Speaking of in the bin, by the time people watch this video, if you believe certain rumours on certain corners of the internet, Slot might be out the door.
I saw this last night. And it wasn't just one page.
It was a lot.
It wasn't just Indie either.
Yeah.
It was a lot of Liverpool affiliated going, he's gone.
Yeah.
And we've not had any confirmation yet, but apparently it might come today. We'll see.
Xabi Alonso in before the weekend then. Job done.
I see it happening.
Same.
I think that's why Slot is about to get chopped, if that's the case, because Alonso's available.
No league wins in 5.
It's wild.
That's shocking. Talk about all the losses earlier this season. Yeah, you can kind of like patch that up with a couple of draws because it's not an L. Mate.
I have to say, again, we go back to that point. I'm seeing a lot of head coaches getting the chop very early, aren't they?
Yes. I mean, Slot won a Premier League.
And he's getting chopped.
But, I mean, you spend £500 million. I'm looking at this team now. It lines up like a 4-2-2-2, which to me just looks like you've got loads of players, yeah? You're just throwing them out there.
Yeah.
And that's what Liverpool look like. Van Dijk, mate. Can I just have a little rant about this guy for a second?
Go for it. Please, by all means.
I'm sick to death of seeing and hearing for so long now, oh, Van Dijk is one of the best Premier League defenders ever. He's one of the best defenders in a generation where defending has died and it's no longer anywhere close to the standards it once was. So, yeah, by all accounts, if you've only watched football in the last 10 years, Van Dijk's one of the best. I'll give you that.
Facts. Well said.
But the fact that he was ever in a conversation comparable to John Terry or Ricardo Carvalho, for that matter,
is blasphemy.
Is blasphemous.
I'll go as further as saying even Rio Ferdinand, Vidic.
100%.
Mate, they're defenders from back at Tony Adams, Keown, Avadeoff.
Mate, this geezer is blaming the wind. The wind. What do you mean the wind? The element that you're from the Netherlands, mate. It's windy there. I've been there a couple of times. England, very windy. It's an island. An island, not an island. But do you know what I mean? He's blaming the wind, bro. He was at fault for 2 of the goals, easily. He scored one, which kind of lets him off the hook a little bit. Poor defender right now.
I'll just say this. All the defenders I just listed, you listed, wouldn't have even dared to even mention the word wind.
No. C'est impossible.
Impossible. But you're right. It's an era where defending has died. And he looks good because he can advance with the ball. Like, that's it. That's the qualification of a defender. The requirement of a defender now in today's game is, can you move with the ball, please? Oh, you can tackle. That's great. We don't need that, though. Can you move with the ball, though? That's what defenders do now. So, again, look, Van Dijk, he's not crap, right? He's not poor. I don't want to say that he's rubbish. He's not rubbish.
He's poor right now.
He's poor right now.
But he's not a poor defender. I'll say that too.
No, he's not. He's a good defender. Without question. And as I've said, in this era specifically, yeah, definitely up there. But when we're comparing to the greats, people just have recency bias in that aspect. Now have a day off. If you lot saw the way defending was done back before, I don't want to sound like a granddad, but flipping hell, he wouldn't stand a chance.
No, absolutely
he
not.
Wouldn't stand a chance.
As for Bournemouth, they've pulled away from the rest. Is how I'm seeing it now. If you got 30 points at this stage of the season, you're away from the rest. There's 7 teams that are in it right now. We might do a video on that if we've got time this week talking about it. But Bournemouth have only lost 1 of the last 5. They've kind of steadied that ship a little bit now, which I think they needed to do because they were in a bit of a free fall after a fantastic start to the season. Late goal. Like, this is a great evening for Bournemouth. And it was a really entertaining game of football. And I mentioned it to you yesterday, but there was a stat that came up on the screen watching on Sky, and it was talking about teams that concede losing points after you scored the first goal. So Bournemouth had lost a lot of points after scoring the first goal, but scoring late, they were bottom of the league. So in the last 15 minutes, they've got less goals than anyone else in the league this season because Iraola has them playing high-octane football and the tank's empty at the end of the game. They didn't give up in this one. They went for it. Soon as Liverpool made it 2-2, I was like, here we go. Liverpool are going to go and nick one late now, and it's going to kind of paper over another average performance. What can Bournemouth do? And the last 10 minutes of the game was all Bournemouth.
Yep, it was.
All Bournemouth.
It was. I mean, their goal that they scored to win the game as well.
Scrappy.
It's like Liverpool, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, they've gone to bed.
Fully.
And it's 2-2. Like,
Fully.
you guys are about to draw again.
Going to be interesting to see what happens to Liverpool now and what happens to Slot. We'll keep our eyes on that one. And, yeah.
Could be an emergency vid on some point this week.
Yeah, I've got a feeling there's going to be an emergency vid that comes out from that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Big time. Aston Villa were very good in their win at Newcastle, but Newcastle very poor.
As
really
expected.
poor. I will say this, though. This was a game for the goalkeepers. I didn't watch the game because Chelsea were playing at the same time. I did see the highlights. First of all, Buendia, what a goal. That's a proper goal. And some amazing saves from Martinez to keep Newcastle out. Sandro Tonali thought he was Eden Hazard for a brief moment. Takes on the whole Villa defence. Martinez makes the save. A couple of massive moments from the keeper. Aston Villa are now 4 points behind Arsenal in the Premier League. I'm looking. It's actually insane, bro. All of the top four. No, sorry. What? Oh my, what? This is all coming to me as I'm staring at the screen. Of all of the top 8 in the Premier League, there isn't a single team in the top 8 that have won more than 40% of their last 5 games.
It's despicable.
This is crazy.
It's despicable, bro.
Based on all of this, right, Chelsea could end up back in the title race.
Chill.
Based on this fact, okay? I don't think we will.
This guy, honestly, you give him a finger, he'll take an entire arm.
That's what they
Not
say.
the hand, the arm.
That's it.
No, listen. No.
Sit down.
But you've made the point before, and I agree. Like, overall, at the top end, the quality has tanked, but the quality of the league as a whole has just shot up. I think there's those teams that have managed to bridge the gap are teams that have gotten better. But teams at the top end, except for maybe the top 3, have just fallen off a cliff in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. It's as tight as it is now. What's going to happen? Who's going to end up in a European spot? No one can call it, mate. There's probably teams in 12th right now that will be able to still make it, and they probably could. It might even do so. Who knows?
Fair play to Aston Villa, though.
But Aston Villa, again, this is another one. I gave Newcastle too much credit. You know, I said 2-1, and this is 2-0. But I did mention Newcastle off the back of Champions League. I like this.
Yeah.
And
hot and cold.
Midweek, going into Champions League, I expect them to put in a good performance again. So
they got PSG away.
I reckon they'll do all right.
Do you reckon?
They might lose, but I reckon they'll do all right.
We'll see if Eunice sticks by that word in tomorrow's video that will be uploaded here to the channel.
But Villa have got enough quality, and I think enough. I mean, Unai Emery and what they have going on at the moment, they had enough to be able to get themselves back on track. And it's a good win for them because even in the Premier League table right now, the gap has been bridged. Now it's not just City, it's Villa as well, 4 points behind Arsenal. So
makes you wonder, doesn't it? If someone would have just gone on a little run at this point. Chelsea, what are you doing? Oh, well. We're on a run now, though. 2 in a row. Coming back, Eunice. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's have it.
Don't cut your hair.
Don't quit the day job, is what I thought you were going to say. Man City 2, Wolves 0. Comfortable. I will say this, though. What a signing Semenyo is. Yeah. It's funny that, isn't it? You buy some real top quality and then you just go like this. Like a sugar cube in a coffee or a cup of tea. Straight in there, mate.
Although 2-0, I thought it was a little bit underwhelming.
Well, I mean, it's what Benson said, isn't it?
It is what
Another
you said,
correct scoreline.
That is a correct score. And fair play. Yeah, because you said 2-0. I said 3. Hence, I'm saying underwhelming. But Overall, expected result, Semenyo class.
Marmoush good too.
Marmoush with the goal as well. Overall, Wolves are still in the mud, in the grave.
Yeah.
Nothing much to say there.
Slightly more respectable now.
Yeah. City still need to do a bit more.
Yeah, that wasn't the kind of performance where you're like, yeah, they're
No.
breathing down Arsenal's necks like a fire dragon.
This is why I'm saying Arsenal, don't panic.
Yeah.
And just focus on yourselves. Don't look behind you. Because if you look behind you, you're not going to move forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
City right now, there's room there for them to fall a couple of more times. They need to get themselves in order. If we're talking about Arsenal getting themselves in order, City need to get themselves in order. Because if City get themselves in order, they will put on one hell of a race.
100%. I don't know if it's even worth discussing, because if it was Chelsea, for example, we wouldn't entertain this because we'd just be like, oh, it's heavy rotation before the Champions League. But do you think there's any significance in Haaland not starting this game? Or is that just purely fixture congestion, busy period, he's not been in great form recently, let's give Marmoush... Because Marmoush is a fantastic footballer. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's been a great signing. And there was talk, maybe, that he might even have been sold. Don't get that.
Which doesn't make any sense because he just walked through the door.
Yeah.
So I don't see that happening at all. But playing up top and the fact that he done it well, right? I honestly think we've seen it before. Haaland's been benched before. I think it's just to do with fixtures, congestion, form. Sometimes with a striker, right? You don't want to keep forcing it. I think that it's important for a striker to play a good amount of consecutive games, even after a bad game. But then if it gets to a point, it's like, okay, he's had another bad game. Cool. You can just not play him for one, let him reset, come back in. He has to come back in against Galatasaray for sure. And then going forward, Haaland needs to be, it's Haaland.
Yeah.
But for a striker to have one game of a break in order to reset, sometimes that can be a good thing. I just think that's just management on Pep's part.
Yeah. No, nothing really to look into there.
No.
Well, we've got to look into to Tottenham Hotspur. An inquest must be had because this club just... I don't get it. Burnley 2, Spurs 2. It's another late Romero goal to save their bacon.
And to save yours and all.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Yeah, Eunice would have got this one spot on.
That would have been score of the season.
That would have been
prediction of the season.
That would have been very good.
If I got Burnley 2, Tottenham 1, and I was this close. And Spurs after, no, we're going to pretend that we're good. Flipping hate that club.
Don't we all, mate?
I mean, like, let's be truthful. Tottenham in the bin. In the mud. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now, and we said this on the way. When we get to the end of the season, if Tottenham, for a second season running, are in 16th or 14th, or I mean they finished 17th last season, if they're in that sort of bracket, you are no longer a Big Six club. Your membership is revoked, thrown away. You are not in the Big Six conversations anymore. I'll be expecting, sorry, Toby, but over on the Big Six, I'll be expecting a sacking.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking surely for a new Big Six club to take, probably Villa.
Somebody's got to step up.
Someone's got to become a new Big Six member at this rate, because this is just despicable.
I'm looking at it, and this is, I said this to Eunice in the car on the way here. This isn't just me and my hatred for Tottenham, because everyone knows that exists. I'm genuinely looking at the league table, and all of the teams above them are better than them. So let's just look below them.
That's wild.
Crystal Palace, they're in the mud. They're going to struggle. Leeds have been good for the last couple of months. I think Leeds could easily overtake Spurs. Forest have got 7 in their last 3. West Ham have won 2 in a row and beat Tottenham. Spurs are only, in my opinion, right now, better than Palace, Burnley and Wolves. That's it. I don't think Tottenham are better than any other team in the Premier League right now. I really don't. So where are the points going to come from?
You know what that means? 17th again.
Just relegate them at this point. There's no point. I've got a mate of mine who is a diehard Spurs fan from where I grew up. And I posted on Instagram on my story saying Tottenham might go down. And he did this. I think he wants to go down.
So then they have something to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding, bro. I think
Tottenham
there's
celebrating, winning the championship. Come on.
people talk about Chelsea and apathy, right? It's a fan base where it's kind of like being a bit desensitized because of the constant yo-yoing and up and downing. I think Tottenham fans have just given up on the club. Forget Thomas Frank. Like, yeah, his football's been dross. And you look at the lineup. He's gone 3 at the back, but like even no offense to Gallagher, still rate the bloke, but like he's not exactly an attacking midfielder. Yves Bissouma is not an attacking midfielder. Jed Spence is a defender, Porro a defender. You got Wilson Udderbear, Dominic Solanke, and Xavi Simons as the only players out there who can even slightly consider themselves attackers. It's so negative.
It's really bad.
It's so bad.
Overall, it's really bad. Firstly, if Tottenham ever went to the Championship, can you imagine a club with that stadium in the Championship? I mean, that would just be weird, you know?
Warranted, I'd say, at this point.
I mean, it'd be hilarious. But at the same time, look, Tottenham are just, as a club, in the bin. Thomas Frank definitely doesn't help things.
Nah.
And again, I go back to that point that I mentioned earlier on. You see the modern day head coach sort of flipping thing, and we look at a coach that's doing well at a club like Brentford, and we go, "Oh no, this guy's going to be flipping. You know, he's the next guy. Look how well he's doing. Oh my goodness, give him a top job." There you go.
Check the card up here because that is a good video, and this is another relative moment of that conversation. But when it comes to Spurs looking beneath them, don't think they can realistically look ahead of them. This is before we move on to the next game. I look at the managerial market. I don't think anyone can save them.
No, Tottenham are a special case here
because they're not. It's all a fugazi about how big of a team club they are. It's all fugazi. None of it's real.
You know what's mad? Tottenham have gone down every single possible route now. Like they've had
elite
Poch, which gave them stability.
Yeah,
he left, and then they tried to go down the winner route, which would have worked for other clubs. They went down. How do you go through Mourinho and Conte and don't win something?
Oh my God.
And then you go down we're going to go through the up and coming, and we're going to go through a different route now and focus on the style of play and focus on the structure of someone's going to fit into what the club are going to embed in. And they've gone down that route. And now Thomas Frank, and they went down Nuno.
I'm glad you said it because then my exaggerated version of reality is actually true. They're just rubbish.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
Facts, fam. Facts.
Simple as that. Honestly, big up to Chiellini. Was it Chiellini?
Yeah.
Yeah. That quote, I think, will be written in stone till the world ends.
Factual information, bro.
Just you could not have said anything more factual in your life, my friend. Kudos to you, sir.
Well, let's move on to Fulham and
Bellissimo.
Bellissimo. I'll tell you who is Bellissimo in terms of what he does for Fulham. Harry Wilson.
Yeah.
I know you don't like XG, but can I throw something out there for you?
Go for it. On this for Fulham, I'll let it off.
He's scored 8 goals this season from an XG of below 1. That is outrageous. Harry Wilson scores another late winner for Fulham to put them 7th in the Premier League behind a Liverpool side who are winless in 5. I think Fulham is the story of just how flippant this Premier League season have been because they started so slowly. A bit like Aston Villa, another story. But Fulham have won this game. I thought they would. I got this score spot on as well. Their record this year, to be 7th, they've won 10, lost 9, scored 32, conceded 32. Like it is like bit of this, bit of that. But it's a big win for them. And this was one of those games where if Brighton would have beaten them, they would have gone ahead of them in the table. So this is huge.
You're right in saying Fulham are like the epitome of how crazy this season actually is. Because even to this point, Fulham have not been as good as they should have been.
Yeah, I think they've got gears to go through.
And yeah, and they're still 7th. They've managed to get themselves, like they've, not too long ago, they were down there in like 12th, 13th, and we were talking about how they should be doing better. And a few results, they're behind Chelsea and Liverpool. It's just ridiculous.
They're
you know
genuinely
what I mean?
right there too.
They are. They're right there.
They're 4 points off the top 4. This is mad, isn't it?
There's no words for it. There's no words for it. Just for how close and how flamboyant. It's the right word that you mentioned. Fulham definitely looking somewhat better though, and fair play. I think not better in terms of the way that they're playing. They're playing pretty much the same sort of way, but there's a bit more stability there, and it looks like they're a little bit more calculated.
Yeah,
and it's paying off.
Yep, they're getting the results. Speaking of a team that are also getting results and actually look really good again now, which is why this is such a great season. Effectively, Forest have gone to Brentford and won 2-0. Well, Chelsea have killed Brentford. We've ended them. Because they couldn't score again. They literally, they had so many shots and chances, couldn't score.
We thought Brentford would get a win here. And fair play to Forest. Like, this is the history of the Sean Dyche.
This is the history of the Sean, mate. He's got hold of him now and he's like, he's gritting his teeth and digging in. They got 7 points. They're one of the most informed teams in the league right now. 7 points from their last 3. They are 5 ahead of West Ham, who are also winning back-to-back games. Like, it's getting a bit weird, isn't it?
They're in a better situation. They're starting to make their way back up, slowly but surely. And that's exactly what they needed into this season, because they'd looked so far in the mud at the beginning with all the struggles. But overall, good performance, and it's not an easy ground to go to.
No.
Brentford are normally strong at home, and then their away form is in the mud. But overall, for Forest to go there and do that, fair play.
I will also say, Igor Jesus, that goal he scores, we talk about like strikers not scoring like proper striker goals anymore. That is an outrageous goal. The take, it's like not even like chest, it's like upper chest, mate. Brings it down.
Collarbone.
Pulls, collarbone. He collarbones it, brings it down and half volleys it into the bottom corner. It's a fantastic goal. And very serious player that Forest have got themselves there. The final game, because obviously Leeds and Everton is today, the final game is also at the bottom of the table, but what a great performance from West Ham. Sunderland, that was one of their off days, let's say. They're down to 10th in the table now. West Ham 3, Sunderland 1. Back-to-back wins for Nuno, back-to-back wins for West Ham.
Again, didn't really expect this one.
No?
Do you know what I mean?
This is why Tottenham are in a relegation zone, by the way.
100%.
Relegation battle, let me say.
100%. Even for this, none of us really anticipated West Ham to put on that sort of performance. And to beat Sunderland in that way. Sunderland have been good this season. But again, this is where like Sunderland now find themselves, ironically, below Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't we have a discussion about this on the shootout predictions? You said Newcastle finish ahead of them. I said Sunderland will finish ahead of them.
Yeah.
I still think Sunderland finish ahead of them.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Newcastle, especially as it will go into that stage of the Champions League, because they'll get through. They'll have to play a playoff, probably, because they won't beat PSG.
I mean, things are tight, right? Don't get me wrong. But the way that it's looking right now, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, those 3 teams who started with blitzing form at the beginning and were like, what's going on with these lot? 10th, 13th and 15th.
Man, I can't wait for the next round of games. I just want to see what's going to happen in this season.
They'll probably all flip up again, and they'll all probably come back on. You never know. Sunderland, yeah, look, this... I expect these sort of results for Sunderland at some point. I didn't expect it against West Ham.
No.
I just think Sunderland are a better team than West Ham. Not necessarily on paper. On paper, West Ham are a decent side. But with the way that they play, with the teams that they have and how they've both been playing and the form that they're in and how they're looking under their respective managers, Sunderland have more to them. But they didn't show it in this game whatsoever. West Ham come out of the blocks, literally all guns blazing, and showed top levels. So fair play to West Ham. They've not played like this in ages.
3 wins in a row now, too.
Yeah.
Mateus Fernandes, fabulous goal, by the way. Absolute screamer from outside the box. But look, this weekend now, you got no 0-0s, 1 draw this weekend after we said there's too many 0-0s, too many draws. And we got Leeds Everton tonight, so watch that finish 0-0, which... I know, do you know what? If Leeds win, they're level on points with Spurs. That's what we've got to look for, isn't it? Hopefully. If Everton win, they are 2 points behind us. Yeah, we're looking for a Leeds winner. We have to. We have to, otherwise Chelsea could be behind Everton next weekend. Do you know who Chelsea have got next weekend?
Everton.
West Ham.
Oh, no, West Ham, you're right. Sorry, West Ham.
3 games in a row, mate, and they come to Chelsea.
Crap. Oh, West Ham. Oh, no.
Oh, dear. But anyway, a fantastic week of football. This has been probably near an hour's episode today.
Feels like it.
Yeah, well, it literally is.
Oh.
I think it's like 50 minutes plus.
Hope
If you enjoyed it, smack the like on it, and we'll see you in the Premier League Champions League predictions.
Rewind.
Well, we're leaving that straight in there. Champions League predictions tomorrow. That's going to be a corker.